Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating and honestly kind of counterintuitive psychological premise. As humans, we naturally crave comfort, right? We want things to be easy. But what if that exact comfort you're working so hard to achieve is actually fueling your own cognitive decline? In this explainer, we're going to explore why a perfectly smooth ride might literally be the absolute worst thing for your mind.
So, let me just ask you point blank. Is your brain fast asleep right now? Be totally honest with yourself here. If your daily life feels just a bit too comfortable, a bit too predictable, and entirely free of any real friction, well, psychology shows us that your brain might literally be going to sleep on the job.
What feels to us like a wonderfully safe, easy routine, the comfortable armchair of life, is actually a massive hidden trap. It's basically a nicely paved road leading straight to a declining mind. See, when we remove all the hurdles from our day, we accidentally strip away the exact stimulus our brain desperately needs to stay sharp.
Section 1. The comfort trap. Psychologists define autopilot as a comfortable state of unthinking routine where you avoid challenging beliefs and the struggle of learning. Think about your morning commute for a second. Have you ever arrived at work and realized you have absolutely zero memory of the drive? Yeah, living on autopilot like that, just floating through your day without any active, difficult friction, it actively destroys your cognitive vitality. You're basically letting your brain idle in neutral. And an idling brain, well, that's a decaying brain.
Section 2, 5 daily mistakes killing your mental sharpness. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the things destroying your vitality aren't like these massive catastrophes. They're actually subtle, compounding daily mistakes. So let's just run right through them. Mistake number 1, letting your life become way too comfortable. This happens when you intentionally structure your day to completely avoid even the slightest push beyond your established limits. Maybe you're only sticking to tasks you've already totally mastered at work, or you absolutely refuse to try learning that new software your team is using. Ask yourself, when was the very last time you deliberately did something you knew you were bad at? If it's been a while, you're definitely falling into this trap.
Mistake number 2 is refusing to break your mental autopilot. You're doing the exact same things the exact same way every single day. And here's a pretty wild fact about neuroplasticity. When you let established routines do all the heavy lifting for you, your brain physically begins pruning its neural pathways. It literally assumes, hey, we don't need these connections anymore because you aren't actively engaging them. Your routine is physically reshaping your brain for the worse. Mistake number 3, failing to challenge your existing beliefs. In our modern world, it is so incredibly easy to just sit back comfortably with prepackaged worldviews. We carefully curate our social media feeds, we select our friend groups to constantly echo our own thoughts back at us. But listen, by never inviting a differing perspective in, your brain's analytical engines literally begin to rust. You completely lose the ability to critically evaluate new information.
Mistake number 4 is actively avoiding the necessary struggle of learning difficult things. When faced with a complex new topic or skill, you're taking the easy way out. Instead of, say, learning that new language or figuring out how to fix the leaky sink yourself or diving into a dense book, you just Google the answer or hire someone else to do it. You are effectively outsourcing your thinking, skipping the hard work that's absolutely required to build new cognitive muscles.
And finally, mistake number 5, ignoring the reality of the situation entirely. It's pretending that avoiding these daily challenges isn't actually harming you. But here's the thing, by burying your head in the sand, you aren't just hitting pause on your mental growth, you are pressing fast forward on cognitive decline. And the longer you ignore it, well, the much harder it is to reverse.
Moving on to Section 3, the value of struggle.
And this brilliantly illustrates a core finding in the psychological research, which states, intelligence grows most when the mind is pushed slightly beyond its comfort zone. Take a second to really let that sink in. Pushing your boundaries is not just some motivational cliché you'd find on a cheesy office poster. It is the proven psychological mechanism that directly builds your intelligence.
The equation is remarkably simple. Struggle equals cognitive vitality. Why does this matter to us today? Because that frustration you feel when you're trying to learn a new instrument or when you're slowly wading through a highly technical article, that isn't a sign that you should stop. Actually, scratch that. It's the total opposite. That frustration is the exact sensation of your brain waking up. If you want to be sharp, you absolutely have to embrace the friction.
Section 4, breaking your autopilot. So, the crucial point is, to maintain your mental sharpness, you have to adopt these 3 non-negotiable habits. First, Break the autopilot routine. Take a completely different route home from work, or heck, try brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Second, challenge your existing beliefs. Intentionally read an article or watch a video from a perspective you strongly disagree with. And third, seek the struggle of learning difficult things. Find something tough to learn and really lean into that frustration.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. What difficult thing will you struggle to learn today? Don't let your brain slip back into its comfortable slumber. Break your autopilot, embrace the friction, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.